Now you have to read which variable you are trying to solve for. So this says solve for y. That means get y by itself. Right now we have x plus y. How would we undo the plus? Well, we want to get y by itself, which means we're going to leave the y where it is. Good. We're going to minus x. Whichever variable you're trying to solve for, you kind of don't want to touch that one. You want to move everything else away from it. It's kind of like if I want to be alone, I stay put and tell everybody else to get away from me. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is going to be y equals, what is w minus x? W minus x. Again, basically just don't do anything. So with these, it actually doesn't matter because it's sort of like alphabet soup. We don't have like a particular format like y equals mx plus b. This is less particular. But would it be wrong to write negative x plus w? No, that means the exact same thing. So that's totally fine. Is y alone? We're done. That's it. All right, this one says solve for which letter? M. Leave M where it is. You want to move everything else away from it. In case no one ever sat you down and explained it, a fraction bar means divide. So how do you undo? Yeah, multiply. So we're going to multiply by 2a on both sides. And what that does is it cancels it out. And you get m equals. Now that is j times 2 times a. It technically doesn't matter what order you write all that in, but you usually see the coefficient written first. So I would probably write 2JA or 2AJ. It really doesn't matter what order you put them in. It's just we usually put the number first. So is M alone? Yeah. Good, we're done. You just work until you get that particular variable by itself. As a heads up, this one's going to be a couple extra steps. All right. It says solve for y. So I'm going to leave the y where it is. Don't touch that one. Minus 3x. Thank you. Now, again, these ones are less particular. So you can write w minus 3x. Or if you're like, no, I want to write it the other way. You can write negative 3x plus w. It does not make a difference with what we're trying to do here. I'm just going to write w minus 3x. Good. Divide by 2. And w minus 3x over 2, guess what that is? W minus 3x over 2. Are you okay back there? Okay. Like literally just don't do anything. That's it. You are just rearranging. They're like little puzzles where you just rearrange it. You're not actually doing any math, really. All right, what variable are we solving for in this one? A. So just be aware of which variable you're trying to get by itself. You have a over v minus r equals f. It's like every letter here. Not yet. First, we need to take care of this. No. Plus r. Good. You're going to plus the r over. So what is f plus r? F plus r. That you can't combine that and get z or something like it. It's just letters. All right, now wait, which variable were we trying to get alone? A. A is being divided by v. So we want to multiply both sides by v. Now look at, you have to multiply v to this entire thing. So give it a hug, meaning parentheses. I always say give it a hug when you put parentheses. Because if you don't put the parentheses, you haven't multiplied it to the entire thing. So A equals f plus r times v. Could you distribute the v if you wanted to? Yeah. Like take this and just, but why? That's more work. Less work. Be lazy and do nothing is kind of what I'm saying to you. Because the more work you try to do and manipulate it, the more likely it is you'll have an error. So like as soon as you get the variable that's supposed to be alone, then just stop. You're done. All right, solve for b. Do you see how the a is multiplied by this whole thing? How do you undo multiplying? Right, so we're going to divide both sides by a. Hey, Ms. Cole, could I distribute the a instead? Yeah, that's another way you could do the problem. It's kind of up to you. It's sort of a personal preference. I would just divide it over because I find that easier. That's going to give you b minus c equals what? D over a. Just, I realize D's and A's can kind of look the same. Just be careful. Oh, and let me say this while I'm recording on the video. When you go to do your delta math, it is case sensitive. So if they have a capital letter versus a lowercase letter, you need to be consistent with what they have on there, or it will mark it wrong. Okay, so just be aware of that. All right, which variable are we trying to get by itself? B.
Oh, wait.
B. Oh, you're ahead of me.
I was looking at the wrong.
B. So how would I get B alone? Plus C. Hey guys, what is D over A plus C? It is D over A plus C. Right? Are you getting that you don't really do anything? I told you it was going to be quick and easy if you listen to me. Now they can get complicated, so you just have to, stay calm. And they do look scary. All right, solve for y. This one I probably will put in y equals mx plus b because the variables are x and y. That's kind of the way we're used to seeing it. So you've done this before. What would we do first? We want y alone. Yeah, minus 3x. Now this one I will put in the correct order because there actually is a correct order for this problem. It would be negative 4y equals, good, negative 3x minus 8. It's not technically wrong to put it the other way, but this one we can put in y equals mx plus b. If you have other letters that y equals mx plus b doesn't really apply.
So,
It's solving for the variable they tell you. So whichever one they tell you to get alone is the one that you solve for. But yeah, in a way it is just simplifying. And then what's your last step here? Yep, divide negative 4, divide negative 4, divide negative 4. So that will give you y equals, careful here, positive, good, 3/4 x. And then careful here as well, plus 2. Follow-up question, what's the slope? 3/4. So you go up 3 over 4. Good, nice job. Gosh, this is going so well. You guys listening to me? Fantastic. A couple more. This is just a drill and practice thing, like most things in math. All right, which variable are we solving for? R. Okay, so you want to leave R where it is, move everything away from R. So which variable are we going to move first? N. Good. How would we do that? Yep. Times N. Does it matter if I write NP or PN? No, makes no difference. So whatever you feel like. Algebra is really just moving stuff. It's like I'm going to move this over here and move that over here. But we multiplied by the n, so you kind of just slide that to the other side. You're still trying to get R alone. R wants to be alone. So last step, plus C. And guess what? NP plus C is NP plus C. Plus that, fine, means the exact same thing. And delta math won't mark it wrong either way. When I finish this last one, don't stop listening to me because I have one other thing to say before you start your classwork, okay? Now this says solve for h. This one's a little bit more complicated because there's a fraction in it. How would we cancel out a 1/2? Times by 2. Good. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2. That cancels out the 1/2. Follow-up question. How would you cancel out a 1/5? Times by 5. So that's going to give you 2a. I guess it wouldn't be wrong to write a too. That's just weird. We usually put the number first. Equals h times b plus c. All right, we're still trying to get h alone. This is a little tricky. Do you see how it's h times all of this? How do you undo? I heard somebody say to undo multiplication would be division. You're allowed to divide by the whole thing, just all of it. Because that cancels out the whole thing and gets h by itself. Again, you're just moving it to the other side. Just keep the parentheses around it. So your final answer is 2a over b plus c equals h. Don't stop listening to me. I have one other thing to say. I am unable to make delta math leave out a particular type of question that we haven't gotten to yet. If you see one that says, and I'll let you guys make up the letters. Give me a letter. What letter do you want to solve for?
R.
All right, solve for R. You don't have to write this. I just want you to understand. All right. If it says solve for R, look. If it looks like this, RZ plus RQ equals, give me another letter, A. Do you see how it says solve for R and you have an R in 2 places? I haven't taught you how to do that yet. That's something we're going to do later in the year. So you need to skip those ones. The way you skip is if you enter it blank twice, it will let you go to the next question. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah, like if you just enter a blank answer twice, it'll mark it wrong, or enter a wrong answer twice. It doesn't matter. Just do it wrong twice and it'll give you a new question. But do you guys understand what I'm saying? If the letter it says to solve for, if you have two of them in there, I haven't taught you how to do that yet. Just skip those ones, okay?